Good morning, traders. Ed here, Crypto Ed, on Tuesday, the 14th of April. After a sorry, a rather slow weekend, I decided not to trade over the weekend. I was expecting some choppiness and some fake moves, and it indeed happened. I'm satisfied that I didn't stare at screens all days, as not really much happened. If we look at my support resistance chart, to be honest, I was preparing when I made the charts for the group, I already said it's likely that we go down today a bit. But yeah, now when I start making this video, we are already moving down. So that changes my the way I need to make this. I want to make this video a little bit. So yeah, let's see how we can trade that. If we look at support resistance chart, we are hanging around that 6,900 level, which I drew from here. I think it's a key level. And we saw that we over the weekend we had a fake breakout to the upside, immediately pushed down. There was no good retest. It broke down, and then a shallow bounce here, and that's the reason why I think we can see some more downsides, because this bounce is not really convincing yet. We look here on the 1 hour chart. This is the level I talked about in the last video on Friday. I said when I think we were over here, no, over here even, I think. Then I warned for a move down and said we can even dip into this liquidity. So this dotted line. We did. We immediately bounced. So that was a good sign. But then I waited because this move was not really convincing. It's not really an impulsive move. You can see here, we bounced, then stalled. Another fake move yesterday, immediately dropped. This was on Saturday night, I think. Then immediately followed by a drop, and then again slowly moving up, taking all day. And yeah, it's only $200 maybe a move, and I stayed out. Wanted to see what was gonna happen when there is coming some volume back in. So yeah, it looks like we're breaking back below that 6,900. This breaking above was not really impressive for me because we did have this rather shallow bounce. So I was waiting. If we go back to the 4 hour and then a quick look at the Elliott wave chart, which is also quite interesting. We did have this rising wedge, we broke down, retest of the breakdown, then a move down and shallow bounce. So this could be a bigger correction where we make an, so we did have 5 up, then an A, B, C down. So this is still very well possible that we make one more leg down, because this latest bounce yesterday looks shallow to me, and that gives me reason to think that we can make this A, B, C towards 6,300, 6,200. Of course, the correction can also be ended here. But yeah, it doesn't look that logical to me. It could be, but this looks like a smoother, more logical pattern. But I'm not going to trade based on this. I'm switching to my chart with ranges. And this is the older range I still use. And this was the liquidity zone. And you can see that we are at the top of the previous range high and still hanging there. And for today, well, let's say first say about yesterday. This is yesterday I did a live stream for the group, And then I said, right at the moment I did the live stream, it was coming down. I said, wait for a bearish retest and then we can go short. And here exactly happened the same as what happened on Saturday over here. You have a breakout and no retest. For the continuation to the upside, I wanted to see here a retest of that breakout and then continuation up, but it failed, came down, dipping into this zone, bounced. And yesterday already we did have a shallow bounce, and then it dropped. And this was during the webinar. I said, wait for that retest, and it never happened. It just went up. So what's the plan for today? Given the idea, what I showed you in the Elliott wave chart of a move towards 6,003, 6,200, I'll be looking, we already have now a stronger candle to the downside. So if you now see here a bearish flag forming, then I think you can look for a short, and then even you can place your stop loss pretty tight above this top for a move to, let's say, 6,300. Only when we break above this level, that range high, have a bullish retest and then go up, I would be interested in a long. And that would be, let's say, from here. And you can use a pretty tight stop loss because you enter after the retest. It's less risky for this move. And maybe much higher, but first let's see if we can break above 7K. I doubt that will happen. For me, it looks more likely that we do get that move to the downside. When looking at the order books at BitMEX, this was earlier this morning, it was confirming my idea. Look, there is quite some selling pressure around 7,100. So if you go look at the chart, I was expecting a bit more up and then down. And that's what I also saw here. A bit more up towards those sell walls, and then a move towards 6,200, where apparently now the buy support is. There is not a lot in the books. That's also the problem after these slow days. Well, it looks here more like there is nothing at all. And this is also looking bearish. So, yeah, what I said, after a couple of slow days, it's hard to predict or find out, puzzle what is exactly going to happen. From what I see now, it looks most likely that we see again some downside and maybe even making this move towards 6,200. So that's it for today. I'm what I said, short summary. Looking here now for a bear flag. It looks like the drop is already starting. If we do get here a bearish flag, some of a little bounce and then a rejection, then I want to go in for a short towards 6,003, 6,200. Only if we break above 7K and have a bullish retest, then I will be looking for longs. That's it for today, guys. Have a good day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.